Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, and thank you very much for joining our webinar today. This is a webinar by Kyocera Numerical. So first of all, let me shortly introduce ourselves. I'm Eri Yoshida, here together with Joachim Neumann. So this is live from Solution Center in Neuss, Germany. I'm in charge of business development, and Joachim is a technical education and training manager in Kyocera Cutting Tool division in Europe. So today, we'd like to introduce our solution, but this time focus on a specific industry, which is steel beam drilling, with actual case studies. So you will see how our new drill lineups provides a solution to your production efficiency in this specific area. So let's see today's content. So after this introduction, we will move on to today's main topic, which will be presented by Joachim. And before we dive into the details of steel beam drilling, we will go through the overview of our top-selling modular drill series, DRA, and then go into the specific machining area. And after Joachim's presentation, you will get the information about our current special offers. And we are looking forward to your questions, and you can always chat them down, always write them down in chat. And later in Q&A session, we will check your questions one by one and answer to you. And your opinion matters. So after this webinar, we will send short questionnaires by email, which will take only a few minutes. It will be very much appreciated if you could go through it. And as an appreciation, you will have the opportunity to take part in the lottery. So now I'd like to hand over to Joachim, please.
Okay, thanks, Eri, for introduction. And welcome to our today's webinar. And as Eri clearly mentioned, we would like to talk about drilling today. And here in the specific situation or specific application, I will introduce here the steel beam machining. But before I start with that, I would like to give you a short overview of our DRA series in general to see our performance in our lineups. So as you can see on that slide, we have a huge lineup related to drilling products. And today I would like to focus on the modular head type, which is our DRA. And the DRA is taken care with a throwaway insert. If we talk about the DRA, we are talking about high precision hole making due to the exchangeable tips. It's a modular head type insert, so-called, and it's a screw clamp system using. So maybe some of you already know our DRC's type. This is a self-clamping system. And at least we have a comprehensive lineup. So we will start from diameter 794 up to the diameter 33, and the tool holder himself, there's a lineup from 1.5 times D to 12 times D. We can select different types of heads, which I will show you in a later overview. And of course, there's a chamfering attachment available for one-shot solution, drilling and chamfering in one shot. From the product overview, from the high precision hole making point of view, as you can see in that slide, related to the drill diameter and to the cutting accuracy, you can see that the DRA in the middle has a good tolerance. So there is a good balance between quality and, of course, from the economical point of view. So let's go a little bit deep into the features of the DRA tape. As I tried to explain, this is a screw clamp system, which is shown here on that slide. Therefore, we can expect a better tool holder durability. So this means the strength is better, and of course, the tool life becomes higher or longer compared to the former system, which was using the self-clamping system, which you can see on the bottom side of the picture. And of course, it's easy to replace the insert. It's just untie the screw, remove the tip, install the new tip, and tighten the screw, and that's it. So from the point of lineup, as it's clearly mentioned, it's a comprehensive lineup. Here you can see the lineup for the inserts. All inserts are using the K8 tolerance for the diameter, And the first recommendation is a single margin type GM for general use. Then we have the HQP for high precision in steel applications, HQS for heat-resistant superalloy drilling, FTP for counterboring. It's a 180-degree flat bottom style, and of course, today's FTPH for steel beam machining. All of them are using the same holders. And as you can see in the middle, we have different types of holders depending on the design. It's so-called SS type with a straight shaft, and of course the SF type with boss. The holder depths so from 1.5 times D to 12 times D lengths. And on the right side, you can see the attachment, which can be used for 45-degree chamfers as well and for one-shot solutions, but it's only fitting for the SS type tool holders. So let's go into the FTPH for steel beam machining. So this is a specific tip which we developed for a specific market, which is so-called structural steel beam drilling. So this is a totally new business which we can enter with that kind of application by using our DRA FTPH type. So I will explain some more details related to the FTPH type in this presentation today. So before I start with the features of the FTPH, just some general words about the steel beam drilling. So normally, if we look on the pictures, you can see it's not a typical situation which we know from our machining centers, which we are normally in front of. So therefore, it's a totally different situation. And from the point of materials, these are normally plates, or you have construction steels, the steel beams in the T-type or H-type design. And these are normally from sticky material as it is construction steel. So therefore, the material shape is mostly plate or a square pipe. And of course, the depth of hole is normally not so deep. It's around 115, 20, or sometimes 40 millimeters. So normally we can use 3 times D drills. But due to some specific clamping situations, we need, of course, sometimes 5 times D drill as well. And on the right side, on the top, you can see the picture of the chips. So longer chips, which hardly evacuated, they are causing recuts. So this means the drill will bite again in the chips. It's so-called chip biting, which is a little bit difficult. Yeah, and as you can see, maybe on the next picture, you can see there are some dedicated machines. These are gentle machines specialized for these kinds of industry. So normally we have a rigid clamping situation, or sometimes you can find no clamping. So it means the workpiece himself is just in the position, keeps the position due to the weight. And here we are talking about from the point of coolant support. Sometimes we can find oil mist, but we do not have the typical internal coolant support as we know from our machining centers. And of course, from the tool changes by machining length, so we are expecting tool life which is related to the depths. So let's say 20, 40, 50 meters depths of cuts should be at least the tool life. So let's go into the situation or into the information, which kind of machines we can expect for that kind of business. As I tried to explain, this is a totally new business which we can enter. So it's not an ordinary general shop floor. So we can find that machines in the steel beam machining and for the constructions of, let's say, shop halls or whatever we will see on the next page. But here we're talking about specific machines like FICEP, like the CMA, or on the right side, you can see the Peddinghaus machines, Fortmann, well known in the Netherlands, or Kaltenbach from Germany as well. So these are specific machines, and as you can see, the shape is totally different compared to the machining centers which we know. At least there's a machine which is mainly taking care for cut-off, for cutting the steel beams, and then we can find, for example, some additional drill units which are taking care for hole making or for tapping as well. So the parts which should be machined on that kind of machines is just an overview here on that pictures. It's in the steel hall structure, we can find that. And if you look into your shops, or if you are in front of sales or application, if you go to the customers, you can find the typical steel hall structures and just open your eyes. This is our business for the FTPH steel beam tip. this kind of business we would like to enter with our new FTPH drill tip insert for the DRA. For that, of course, we need some specific product features and benefits. So at least it's a reinforced geometry. So therefore, we expect a good and stable tool life. So you can see on the picture on the right side that we have a specific chamfer. Even the sizzle is a specific sizzle to get a good centering. And one important thing is the 70-degree back cut. It's shown here. So then we have less trouble if we reject the tool. Maybe there are some deflection from the point of workpiece, or maybe some other situations that we have some deflections, and due to the chamfer, there's an easy retract action given for the drill spindle. So though we do not expect any damages on the tip himself. And of course, for the cylindricity and for the good support, we are using a double margin. And as you see on the picture, it's a 180-degree edge angle. So therefore, we can expect, due to our design, short ships. It will be shown later in one. You can see that in some nice videos. But especially here, as we are using 180-degree compared to the conventional 140-degree drill tips, we can save time as the travel distance becomes shorter than the conventional tools. So here is a big impact for the increasing of the productivity for the steel beam application himself, as we have a less travel distance compared to the existing systems in the market. So these are the features of the DA tip, and just how they are working, I would like to underline on the next slides. So here we can see some cutting data which we evaluated, and we would like to simulate interrupted cut. So therefore you can see, if you look on the picture on the right side, we are drilling a hole into existing through hole to make to give a situation like an interrupted cut. And if we look on the pictures, you can see that we expect shorter ships on the left-hand side. This is our DRA, so-called DA tip in diameter 26 with our FTPH. We are using our PER 1535 grade, which is the first recommendation for that application. And of course, it's a through hole, still a through hole in construction steel, which is ST52. And we are using, close to our recommendations, 80-meter cutting speed with a feed rate of 0.2 by the depth of 25 millimeter. And of course, in this case, we used internal through air cooling, and we made 12 holes. And you can see clearly the differences against our competitors, which we can find in that market. The ship shape is totally different. Shorter ships are expected. And if we look on the surface of the hole himself, you can see that our competitors are creating chattering marks, which are from the not same rigidity of the tool holder himself, and of course of the design of the tip. On the next slide, we can find a cutting evaluation which simulate a continuous cut. It's the same tip. It's still the 26 diameter FTPH. And of course, this time we have a drilling depth of 40 millimeter, 3D times a drill. And you can see on the whole exit that we have less bar formation and no vibration, which we can find on our competitor's product. And even we have not similar scratches, which you can see here by competitor K, compared to our FTPH. So even this is done, these good benefits related to the design and the design of our DA tip. So of course, if you would like to utilize our DRA with DA tip FTPH, you need some information. How should it be used? So therefore, you can find here our recommended cutting conditions. So the lineup, it's close to that information which you can find here on that picture. From diameter 14 to diameter 26, we are always using, this should be our start recommendation with the cutting speed of 90 meter per minute. And of course, the feed rates, depending on the diameter, we are starting with 0.18 up to 0.25. If you're using or if you are drilling thinner plates, which are more unstable, so please reduce in this case the feed rates. Or if you have the support by oil mist and the quantity is different from machine to machine, even here you can check the color of the chips if the cutting speed is in the right way. So from the point of strategy of the DRA FTPH type, if you are a technical consultant, so we would like to open now the new business for you, as we have to open our eyes to get that new business, not on the standard customers which we are supporting day by day. So this time we are looking on the right side and the left side if we can find these specific construction shops where we can find that specific machines. And here we should enter. And why we should do that? Because the performance of the DRA tip is really, really good. And you, as a technician, as an application engineer or a well-skilled technician, you can give that customers support, which normally is not given to them by our competitors. So this is a good point for you to open that new business for you. Or in sometimes, some cases, if we have unstable machining and we caused some problems with our existing tips like a GM or FTP due to the pull-out situation, we can improve that with our FTPH tip as well. Or in the cases of rigid climbing, or if we have thin workpieces, large overhangs. So even here we can switch instead of our standard geometries, hopefully to our FTPH type. But I would like to focus out for the beginning, go to that customers, to go to that business which you never entered before. And here you can quite easily be successful. To underline or to give you our good feeling about that product, I would like to support today the presentation with some nice videos, and I hope the sound is running as well. This is a test trial done by one of our customers on a Kaltenbach machine. So just to make it easier for you to remember, you can see the machine on the right top side here on the presentation slide. So this is the machine where the DRA was used. And of course, it was used against our competitors' products. In this case, it was Ceratizid, or you can find the same product in the catalog from by WNT. And you can see the performance of the chips on the picture here. FTPH in diameter 22. We used with extensions the overhang 280 millimeter. It was S235 steel plate. Cutting speed in this case was 110 millimeter per cutting speed per minute, and the feed weight was 0.3 per revolution by the depths of 20 millimeters in a dry condition. So just have a look on that nice video. Okay, now it's working. So here it's quite easy to see the difference and to hear the differences. So I think it's quite easy to recognize that this business is totally different compared to our existing or daily business, which we know normally. You can see from the point of positioning and the clamping and even the style of the machine is totally different, but the performance of DRA with FTPH tip is really good. Even the case of the overhang of 280 millimeter, it works perfect. Really good chip control, and the customer was satisfied. On the next slide, I would like to give you the opportunity to join the video, which was done on a padding house machine. Even this is a specific machine just designed for that kind of business, for the steel beams. And here we used the cutting speed of 55 meter per minute by diameter 22. It's a 5 times D drill. This time the workpiece is S355. The feed rate is 0.3. Per revolution, and the depth of cut is 60 millimeter in a dry condition. If you look on the right side to the picture, you can see the chips of our competitor's product, which is so-called competitor K. It's easy to imagine it could be Kennametal. It's the Kentep system, and you can see here that the chip shape is totally different. And of course, in this application, the drill needs pack cycles as well. So this means there was a short stop every 2.5 millimeters to break the ships, which you do not need for the FTPH. So even here, enjoy that nice video. Okay, so even here it was nice to see. Still, it's easy to recognize the chip shape of the DRA FTPH. It's quite short, well-balanced chip performance by using our DRA FTPH chip as well on the padding house machine. On the next slide, we will see a test from a customer on a feature machine. So this is a big plate, which I think it's used for bridge building, so gets a lot of holes. So here it's a diameter 16 FTPH tip. It's a S355 bis material. And of course, we use 90-meter cutting speed by the feed rate of 0.16. The depth of cut was 50 millimeter in a dry condition. And here the customer used before from Kennametal standard U-drill with inserts. So therefore, the cutting conditions are a little bit different compared to our DA tip. So it's a 120-meter feed rate, 120-meter cutting speed, and feed rate is 0.04. And of course, here we could improve the productivity 3.5 times compared to the existing product from Kennametal. So even here, enjoy the video. So finally, the last video file, it's a test at the customer here. We would like to figure out the unstable fixture. The clamping situation is quite weak, but even here we received a really good result by using our FTPH from the point of chip control, tool life, and even here from the workpiece point of view from the next step of machining. So we have less bar on the whole exit compared to the existing products. And here we used 80-meter cutting speed by the feed rate of 0.13 in an unstable clamping or fixture. Enjoy as well. Okay, so from the point of lineup, after that nice video files, so this is not the same full range which we know from the GM tip, or even if we compared with the existing FTP lineup, but this is related to the required hole sizes, which are normally fixed and limited in this industry. So we are starting with diameter 14, 16, and 18, diameter 20, 21, 22, 24, and diameter 26. Please remember, if you would like to use the DA26, so which is the DA2600M, then of course you have to use it on the DRA 250 holder, which is marked yellow. So I hope that I could give you some interesting information about our FTPH tip for a total new business for the steel beam machining. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I would like to hand over now to Eri.
Okay, so thank you, Joachim, and thank you for listening so far. Now I'm happy to explain about our special offers with introduced products. So we are now running winter promotion, which is valid until 27th March 2024. And in this promotion, we offer not only drills, but also millings and turning tools. But today, I'd like to focus only on drills. So, all standard lineups of DRA drills are now on promotion. The condition is, if you purchase 5 pieces of inserts, you will get corresponding tool holder free of charge. And plus, we offer an exciting bonus this time. Based on your booking quantity per month, we offer free Kyocera knives additionally. And for the details, please ask your distributors. So this is all about today's webinar, and we hope that you are able to gain some useful information. And before ending the webinar, we'd like to see your questions in chat. We will also be available for you after the webinar, so please do not hesitate to contact us if you have any further questions or concerns. But let's see our chat if we have anything. Okay. So first question is, okay, please tell me if pre-hold is necessary for PD holder. So Joachim, could you answer? Yeah.
Okay. Irgendwie ist heute der Wurm drin in unserer Technik. For the question, which was given for the 8 times D tool holder, normally we do not expect that 8 times D tool holder on the machine. So it's a 3 or 5 times D, maybe with some extensions. So therefore, there's no pre-drilling or centering necessary. And of course, if there's a need to use 8 times D holder on that machines, we cannot make a pre-hole. So therefore, I would like to recommend use 5 or 3 times D with extensions, or if 8D is necessary or mandatory, then it should work from my point of view. And there's a next question. Can we mix chip breaker of DA to get 5 pieces for winter promotion for DRA? And yes, of course, you can mix the chip breakers. Can we get FTPH test sample for customers for testing? Even here, I can say yes. Please contact your distributor and you will receive the test tool, the test samples for free. I think there are some other questions from your side. Okay, it seems there's no question anymore. So then for the closing, I would like to hand over again to Eri.
Okay, so for the details of promotion and products as well as questionnaires, you will find the link on the email, which will be sent after the webinar. And if you have any questions, including technical issues, please contact our sales representatives, or if you are not sure the contact person, please just contact us to the address here, like here as shown in Germany. Then we will introduce you the best contact person accordingly. And last but not least, you see here, we have a LinkedIn account. Some of you probably already know and follow us. And I would say you should definitely follow us so that you are always up to date and don't miss any events. Now, I'd like to thank you once again for your participation, and we wish you a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much. Thank you.